Introduction. This expose or video presents a documented account of serious concerns surrounding the leadership of Stephanie Leung, aka 100-piece Nugget, who in this video I'll be referring to as Steph. The information shared here is intended to shed light on patterns of behavior and decisions that have negatively impacted the player community and potentially exposed Riot Games to significant risk. This is a matter of accountability, ethics, and the responsibility that comes with leading a major aspect of one of the world's most popular games. Clarifying individual responsibility. Before we begin, it's crucial to understand a fundamental principle. Companies are not shields for individuals to manipulate and lie. The focus here is not solely on corporate missteps, but on actions and accountability of individuals making those representations. I believe that professionals, especially those in leadership, must be held responsible for their own actions, and they cannot simply hide behind the banner of a company when engaging in questionable or harmful behavior. Frustration. Steph is the person responsible for overseeing the quality and direction of skins in League of Legends. Under her leadership, we've seen numerous highly criticized skins and a consistent release of underwhelming products. Most concerningly, there's been a clear failure to engage with the players who are the foundation of Riot's success. So let's examine a significant failure to meet expectation and why serious consideration should be given to her suitability for any future leadership role. The indefensible disregard for accountability and communication. Accountability is a cornerstone of effective leadership, and a crucial element of that is effective communication. Both internally within a team, from other teams such as the player community teams and player community managers, and externally with the community being served. Steph's tenure reveals a profound absence of this critical quality on both fronts. Her calculated silence in the face of legitimate concerns regarding the consistently poor reception of skins under her direction, as seen with Grand Reckoning Alistar, and specific incidents like the lack of communication surrounding the misrepresented pool party Twitch skins.
I mean, look at him. He's a little rat and he's got a squirt gun. He would totally cause chaos at the family barbecue.
And we gave him a little Hawaiian shirt.
No, he's so
Speaks volumes about her unwillingness to take responsibility. So, it is glaringly obvious that this failure extends beyond just ignoring direct communication attempts like mine when I attempted to contact Steph for a comment, which I know for certain she's noticed. She just chose to ignore. So the consistent disconnect between the overwhelming feedback provided by the player community on numerous skin lines and the subsequent releases demonstrate a clear pattern of disregarded external communication. It appears that just like my own experiences of being ignored, player community managers and other internal channels meant to relay feedback have also been consistently overlooked. This documented behavior, the apparent disregard for both internal and external communication, should give any prospective employer serious pause when considering Steph. The documented deception in advertising. Integrity is paramount in any professional setting. Steph's direct misrepresentation of product features and promotional material for the pool party Twitch skin is a matter of record.
Party? I mean, look at him. He's a little rat and he's got a squirt gun. He would totally cause chaos at the family barbecue.
And we gave him a little Hawaiian shirt.
No.
Her explicit promises of a gun and a shirt on an official channel, directly contradicted by the visuals and final product, constitute a documented instance of deceptive advertising that raises serious ethical questions any future employer must consider. Because this wasn't an isolated incident, it reflects a pattern of disconnect between promises and delivery under her leadership. The evident lack of integrity and exploitative practices. Leadership demands ethical conduct and a fundamental respect for the community. Steph's actions and the products released under her direction have frequently fallen short of this standard. Beyond simply underwhelming cosmetic items, we've seen instances that border on exploitative. The initial review of the Sanusal Mordecai skin serves as a prime example of this concerning trend. This skin wasn't offered through direct purchase but was locked behind a gacha system, with a guaranteed drop rate only after an estimated $250 was spent. The audacity of presenting a skin with such a staggering price point, especially when its initial quality was heavily criticized by the community as lacking in significant new animations or effects befitting that cost, is frankly disgusting. It demonstrated a clear intent to extract exorbitant amounts of money from players for a single item through manipulative mechanics. The positive outcome of Backlash. While the initial handling of the Sanusal Mordecai skin occurring under Steph's leadership of cosmetic products was deeply concerning, the intense and unified backlash from the player base did yield a positive outcome. Riot Games eventually acknowledged the criticism and announced significant upgrades. It's plausible that this swift response wasn't solely due to the community outcry, but also reflected a concern at higher levels, potentially including investors, finally noticing the negative impact of such decisions on a key revenue stream overseen by Steph's team. However, this single instance of responsiveness doesn't indicate permanent change, as subsequent releases show a return to similar patterns. The irrefutable lack of requisite expertise. When examining Steph's career path from beginning to current, it shows that most of her knowledge and expertise is largely in insights, strategic advisory, and marketing research, but it reveals an irrefutable lack of the core expertise required to effectively lead League of Legends' product design team. While analytical skills are valuable, her background demonstrably lacks the foundational knowledge in art direction and visual design, which is needed to guide creative teams. It doesn't show a deep understanding of game design principles for cosmetics, or the nuanced player psychology driving aesthetic choices. Crucially, her history doesn't showcase direct product creation leadership, nor a proven ability to deeply engage with and integrate community feedback. The consistent issues under her leadership are a direct consequence of this fundamental deficit in the very knowledge required for the role. A vulnerable audience. The concern surrounding Steph's leadership extends beyond mere consumer dissatisfaction with digital goods. The gaming market, and League of Legends specifically, attracts a significant number of children and adolescents. This demographic is especially vulnerable to manipulative marketing tactics and deceptive advertising, as seen with Pool Party Twitch, where they will willingly go and advertise a false premise, or the exploitative monetization of the Sanusal Mordecai skin, where they will heavily oversell something they are well aware is overvalued, and many others. Therefore, individuals in leadership positions within this industry bear a heightened ethical responsibility to these young players. Their actions directly influence the perception and spending habits of a vulnerable audience. Therefore, the player community's scrutiny of individuals like Steph, fueled by the consistent disappointment in products and misleading information, is not only justified but essential. We, as players and concerned individuals, have a direct stake in ensuring that those in position of power within this market operate with the utmost integrity and accountability, precisely because of the potential impact on children. The standards for leadership here are and must be significantly higher than in industries with less direct influence on young and impressionable individuals. The documented exposure to legal risk. Responsible leadership involves protecting the organization from legal and financial risk. Steph's apparent disregard for ethical advertising standards is clearly demonstrated by the Pool Party Twitch situation occurring within a key market like Europe with stringent consumer protection laws, has demonstrably exposed Riot Games' potential legal action. This documented recklessness is a serious cause for concern for any future employer. The documented erosion of trust. Effective leadership builds and maintains trust. Steph's history, marked by widespread player dissatisfaction with skin quality on every website imaginable and subreddit imaginable, and the documented misrepresentation of products like Pool Party Twitch, alongside much else, reveals a significant erosion of trust within the player community. This documented failure to connect with and respect stakeholders is a critical indicator of poor leadership that any future employer really should heed. Summary. As a final conclusion, the evidence clearly documents Steph's failure as a leader. Her history is marked by a lack of accountability, questionable ethical practices, highlighted by predatory monetization of significantly overpriced and underwhelming products, a complete disrespect to any consumer, a lack of competence leading to poor outcomes, legal risk exposure, and significant erosion of stakeholder trust, especially concerning the vulnerable child demographic, which requires the highest ethical standards. The very idea of such exploitative monetization raises serious questions about her values. While community backlash forced some change, the initial intent remains standing. The baffling continuation of questionable tactics and underwhelming release, despite consistent negative feedback, reveals a profound disconnect and disregard for player well-being and trust, extending to both external and likely internal communication. Any future organization must acknowledge this extensive failure and critically examine the basis of a prior placement and progression, and the concerning ethical implications of our actions in a sensitive market. Thank you for watching.